Okay, so for our next project, we are going to be working with profiles. That's the side of the face. That's why I'm not facing you right now. See, this is my profile. This is my portrait. But we're also going to play with a light source, a really harsh, painfully bright light source that's going to help us out a little bit as well. So the first thing that you're going to need to do to play around with this game is two things. One, you're going to want to go ahead and coat your canvas with a solid flat color, whatever you want. If you want to do, this kind of like limey green, bright purple, hot neon pink spray paint, I don't care. But you got to pick some kind of brightly colored surface that we're going to put our portrait onto. Next up, you're going to be doing a self-portrait. Now, I don't want us tracing, I don't want us using grid method or anything like that. We're going to go ahead and jump right into sketching directly on the canvas. But it's only our second portrait painting, so I want to give you a little bit of maybe a way to help things out, and that's where the light source comes in. So you're going to want to get a friend to help kind of trace your silhouette onto the canvas. That way we have something to go off of as far as what the outline of your face looks like. We're going to use this silhouette to then go ahead and actually start to draw all the details over top. But remember, you don't need a lot of details because we're going to be painting, not drawing. So first things first, you need to go find a friend. So go ahead and do that. Now you don't want to have a Sharpie or any kind of like permanent marker that will actually fight the paint that you're applying. You want to trace yours with a pencil. However, because this is a demo, I'm going to go ahead and have my wife trace with a Sharpie so that you can see every little tiny line. Let's make it happen.
So what I'm using here is a technique called comparative measurement. I'm looking at the photograph and getting a rough degree of an angle that I can use to sketch.
All right, so I'm not going to worry too much about any other kind of sketching. This should be more than enough to get me started. Remember that we're going to paint over all of this. So this is more for you than it is for actually painting around or kind of paint by numbers. We're going to be covering this entire thing. So let's go ahead and jump into mixing some of our paint. All right, so whenever we're painting, blue, red, yellow, those are the primaries, and these are all you're gonna need. Now, any form that they come in, I'm using, these are kind of Oops paints from Home Depot. They'll work just fine. They're all interior paints, so a little bit thinner. I like to paint on a glass palette. It makes it easier to clean up, but you can just as easily paint on anything you have at home. There's nothing wrong with that. You wanna make sure you have some kind of palette knife in order to mix your paints with, and you definitely want to be looking at the picture that you're trying to paint because you're trying to match some of these colors. Now, if you want to use Photoshop or you want to use something else to pull some of these colors out, by all means go on ahead. What we're going to do is try our best to match just a small collection of these skin tones. I'm not really going to worry about the hair because I have none, but I am going to go ahead and make sure that my skin is mixed up. I can always mix up another batch for any kind of details, but the big thing, the big takeaway is this. You are absolutely welcome to use white if you need to kind of tint something and make it a little bit brighter. But I want you to do everything in your power to not use black. It is very tempting to kind of hammer down on some black paint, but all it's going to do is really sink and deplete all the brightness that our colors have. So for this particular project, no black, not allowed. Now, what we can do using these four colors is get something that's approximately close to black. If you mix a little bit of blue and a little bit of kind of some brown or purple in there, you can get something that's pretty close to black. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and mix up some very basic skin tones. Now to do this, no matter what kind of ethnic background you have, no matter what color skin that you have, you're all going to start with the exact same base, which is mixing up kind of a normal brown. To get that just regular old earthy kind of toned brown, I'm going to go ahead and start with yellow. It is my lightest color, so I don't want to try to overpower yellow with a whole bunch of blue. I'm going to start with my less color here. Now again, my paint's a little bit watery. You are welcome to use something that's a little bit thicker, heavier body. I'm just using this because I happen to have it. So, a little bit of yellow going on there. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and add in some red. Now, in my particular case, I'm actually going to go ahead and mix. I like to kind of put my colors on the canvas here, on my palette, separately, and kind of add to them as I need. So I'm going to add a little bit of red, just like so. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of mixy match. Now, that's way too much red. That is like 1 to 1. We don't want that, right? So I don't need this much red. I'm going to add a little bit over here. And again, your paint is going to be a heavier body than mine. I'm just using this because I happen to have it. Now, this darker red here already is giving me something that's more approximate to kind of an earthy, kind of orangey brown, which is already in the right direction for kind of a base skin color. Again, doesn't matter what kind of paints you have, right? I'm using leftover house paint, right? It works just fine. I think a lot of times we get in our heads, we have to go spend hundreds of dollars on the fanciest, nicest, golden paint. And there are good brands, and there are heavier bodies and things like that you may need to get a particular effect. But remember that you're buying supplies for an effect. You're not buying them because it will make you a better artist. It will not. Any paint, any paintbrush will do the job. From a nicer paintbrush down to a $1 chip brush, it's all going to do the same job. So there's some blue as well. I'm just going to pour out a very small amount. I don't have that much blue on my face, so I don't think I'm going to need a lot of it. There we go. I'm making a mess over here. All right, so again, I'm just mixing up kind of a base tone, so I'm going to add the smallest amount of blue. Oh, you don't need a lot at all, okay? You just don't need it. You can always add more. So I'm mixing this, and the reason I'm doing that is blue. In this particular case, this blue and this orange are complementary colors. So when I mix my complementary colors together, I'm going to get something that is closer to an earthy brown, which is, again, kind of what we're going for. Now, the big thing is this. Being able to adjust this kind of earthy brown color to match my skin, that's where the real magic comes in. So whether you are trying to darken this particular color, whether you're trying to lighten this color, remember that you're trying to stick with your primary color paints. You don't need to go out to the store and buy pre-mixed, skin tone. Crayola does not know what skin color you have. You do. So once you get something that is close enough, this is kind of a creamier kind of mocha, kind of brownish color going on right there. Once I have something that's in line with kind of a neutral kind of brown, I'm gonna go ahead and start to separate this into different patterns. So on my particular skin here, you can see I've got a little bit of redness around kind of my nose and my cheeks. So I'm gonna take my color right here. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more red to it. So I now have a red version of this kind of orangey brownish color, right? So this can go in for like the red on my nose, on my cheeks and everything. Notice that I'm not really adding white or black, I'm adding color to my picture, okay? That's a big idea. Add as much color as you can. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off my palette knife there. Now I'm looking around, I see definitely some cooler areas. Look like right in my nose there, there's definitely a little hint of blue, like a cooler kind of shadow. So again, take some of this brown right over there, add a little bit more blue to it, right? That's gonna really sink it down. That's gonna give me a deeper, darker, kind of grayish shadow color. Oh yeah, that is a good shadow color right there. I don't need black to do the job for me. I don't need, white. I can do all this stuff just using my colors, okay? Now, for a highlight color, okay, maybe I need a little bit of white, right? If I have a little bit of a glare on my skin, maybe my chrome dome is reflecting just slightly, I've got lots of reds and deep browns over there on my ear. So let's mix up a deep brown for like a heavier shadow, even more than this guy. Mix up a nice heavier shadow color. To do that, I'm gonna mix in purple. To get purple, I need red and blue. And that's gonna give me kind of a purpley, deeper, earthy brown shadow. Make a mess on your palette, nothing wrong with that. Gonna kind of warm up that earthy brown, a little bit more red, cool it down, a little bit more blue. And again, I'm using really liquidy paints here. Use what you have. Okay, that's a good shadow right there. And get even more blue, let's go crazy. That's a shadow color right there. Okay, so I've got two different shadows, two different highlights, looking pretty dang good. Now I want to go ahead and use a little bit of white. Okay, so now with my white, I'm going to be able to make some kind of lighter versions of these same colors for highlight purposes, right? I'm going to have some glares here and there. And the big thing you really want to be cautious of, please don't mix on your canvas, all right? It's going to be super tempting to just kind of blend and mix your paints as you go directly on the canvas. Try your best, mix them on the palette. It's going to be so much easier for you. I know it feels like you're wasting a lot of time by mixing on this palette, but I'm telling you, mix it ahead of time, make your life easier, it will help. So I'm going to take some of this kind of mid-tone, mix it in. Now this is a heavier bodied white paint, so it's going to add a little bit of stiffness. Some of these peaks, that's probably what your paint at home looks like. This is more normal paint. just acrylic, nothing fancy. All right, add a little bit of warmth. There you go. All right, again, notice no black at all. I don't need to neutralize. And really, even then, the white I'm using is pretty sparse. Try to stay away from white. Definitely don't use black. If you need to get something even darker, stick with your darker colors, right? Mix up a darker blue. Mix blue with brown, and you're going to get a pretty heavy-handed black-ish color that's going to totally do the job for you. So this is kind of my palette that I'm working with. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm going to mix some as I go along too. Let's go ahead and jump on to our painting.